The FBI Director Andrew McCabe is set to testify behind closed doors with the House Intelligence Committee. They're expected to ask the FBI's #2 person about a lot, including Peter Strzok. Strzok is the DOJ official booted off Robert Mueller's Russia investigation several months ago. Strzok sent anti-Trump text messages to an alleged mistress, FBI lawyer Lisa Page. One of those text messages reads, quote, "I want to believe the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office," we believe that's Andrew McCabe, "that there's no way he gets elected. But I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40. End quote. Congressman Trey Gowdy will be among those leading the questions today. He wants to get to the bottom of that particular text message, among some other things.
Andrew McCabe cuts across every facet of every investigation in 2016 that your viewers are interested in, from Secretary Clinton's email to the investigation into the Trump campaign. He's the deputy director of the FBI. So there are a ton of questions, including the one you made reference to, the meeting between Agent Strzok and Lisa Page in, quote, Andy's office. We need to make sure that was Andy McCabe. And if they were coming up with a, quote, insurance policy in case Donald Trump won, that is devastating.
Senate Judiciary Committee Chair Chuck Grassley reportedly says he wants the FBI to replace Andrew McCabe. All right, so we got to get to the bottom of whether Andy was Andrew McCabe. A, B, what else do you want to know?
Well, I think they're going to say, what was his intent, right? Because that's exactly what former FBI Director Comey said when he was letting Hillary Clinton off the hook. And his intent, regardless of whether it was an assassination attempt or whatever, was definitely something.
Whoa.
Well, no, I'm just saying, we don't know what it was. When you say we've got to make sure that this guy, doesn't get in at all costs, what does that mean? So I'm saying there's a spectrum of what does it mean. But one thing that we know for sure is that he was plotting in an election against a candidate, and there's FBI fingerprints all over this.
All right, because I know how things get clipped on social media, I just want to make sure that we press in on the fact that no one has floated any sort of an idea that
it's been floated. When I talk about this, I'm talking about social media stuff and that's out there. I'm not talking about media
Nothing
sources.
credible.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I think the bigger question is what comes out of asking Andrew McCabe questions. What will we learn about this?
Exactly, and I'm actually glad that it's a closed conversation, because I think that everyone then, you can take politics out of it a little bit, not entirely, but when there's not TV cameras there, they can have a conversation about all of these different issues. There's been a lot of accusations and allegations leveled against the FBI. We've talked about a lot of them here. There are so many people that work there, including on these investigations, who are career officers, who are respected, who serve both parties, no matter who is in the White House. That needs to remain at the core of how we see the FBI. And Andy McCabe today will have a chance to answer lawmakers' questions without having the cameras there, which makes it a little more political, I think.
Definitely fanfare, and congressmen and women trying to get their time on cable news networks.
Get a campaign ad cut.
Right, but there are a lot of questions that he's going to have to answer today. The first question is, were they in your office discussing this insurance policy? Right, were they there? If they were there, why were you allowing them to use a federal government taxpayer-funded office to discuss going after a political candidate that they didn't like? And what was done after that meeting? Was there a follow-up meeting to discuss the insurance policy that happened? Were you engaging with them on how to carry this policy out? And what are your connections to the Clinton Foundation, considering your wife had deep connections to Terry McAuliffe, who was a friend of the Clintons, and took money from them in a Virginia race? I mean, it gets very complicated, but the question that they're going to want answered is, what was the plan to carry out that insurance policy, and was it connected to the Russia investigation?
More broadly, he's going to have to defend whether or not there was a political bias, an anti-Trump bias inside of the FBI while this investigation was ongoing. Maria, I put you on the spot to say, do you think that there is?
I don't. I think there are a lot of FBI officers, including many people working on the investigations, that probably voted for Donald Trump and are Republicans. Some of them clearly didn't. We have seen no evidence yet that, however people politically felt on a personal level, that impacted any of these investigations.
Wait,
let me finish. FBI officials are allowed to have personal opinions. Was he stupid for putting these in text?
They had the meeting, but they had the meeting in McCabe's office.
The question is still open. There has been no evidence showing this impacted.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
But if you let your opinion cloud the way you do your job is the question. So on the table, along with the list of things that Katie asked is, Mr. McCabe, did you know about those text messages among your employees? What would you have considered on board and not on board, considering that that was...
No, he knew.
There are two venues where this played out. This played out in text messages off duty, right, between these two federal agents.
But he may have
on official phones. But then they had the meeting in FBI headquarters about the insurance policy, and that's the question. Why are we using the power of the FBI to go after a political candidate?
Kevin, we don't know. You get the last word.
I just want to say the FBI, the grassroots level, at the general level, are very, these are people that want to do the right thing. At the top, we have seen corruption. End of story. There is no question about that, whether it's McCabe and all the other players, certainly James Comey. We've seen it.
So bottom line.
So this idea that, the general public knows this, and the bottom line is somebody has to answer for this.
All right.
But we're not impugning the entire organization.
All right. It's behind closed doors with the Intel Committee, but of course, as it makes news and we learn about it, we'll tell you first. Meanwhile,